Title of the day: Monkey of UT Austin football special teams coach, stripper girlfriend bites child. Woo! Welcome to another Bourbon and Data Breaches, where we cover 5 of the most interesting data breaches from this last week in one of our favorite bourbons. I'm Steve.
Michael.
Divya.
Paul.
Stu.
Well, Divya, what do you have for us this week?
Hey guys, so this week was pretty interesting. The first story we have is from the Labour Party in the UK, where they faced a data breach. Supporters' details were affected in a cyber attack, and this happened on 29th of October. What do you guys have to say about this breach?
I believe, correct me, Divya, but I believe that Labour Party details were leaked through a third party, a very specific detail for this breach. So I think it's important to note that even if you're a politician, you are vulnerable to third party risk.
Yeah, this is
something bad will happen from all the personal details of the Labour Party being made public. I think if the Labour Party was suddenly compromised by ransomware, could anyone tell?
probably not.
No.
Okay, guys. Anyway, so for story number 2, we've got Kaspersky's stolen Amazon SES token used in Office 365 phishing. Kaspersky said today that a legitimate Amazon simple email service, SES token, issued to a third-party contractor, was recently used by threat actors behind a spear phishing campaign targeting Office 365 users. Steve, I know you're very passionate about the subject, so
So this story is very interesting. I find it interesting.
I find it interesting that
if you look at the token, they say there was no breach, there was no security incident. The token just somehow found its way into these people using it for phishing attacks. So I don't understand how a token can go from a legitimate third party to hackers with no security incident to speak of, unless it was perhaps handed to them or it fell off a truck. I can't tell you the number of times tokens have fallen off trucks for me. They just fall off the truck. And then
I think it fell off the truck.
It fell off the truck. So I don't understand, because if you look at it, they say what did not happen was a hack or any insider threat or any malicious transformation or any like it was an S3 bucket. Some magical way the token showed up in the phishing person's hands.
drink anyways, even though it's not an S3 bucket. I think everything about the article is right. I find it interesting about this incident is that Kaspersky is right. No one actually got into their system, right? But somehow this token, let's say it's 64 characters, it got out into the outside world. So I mean, yeah, that's like weird. But then again, it highlights the safety of this string of characters. It's just a string of characters. We can pass that around. Any low-level engineer can just pass that around and accidentally leave it out.
I find it interesting that this very important token found its way into unscrupulous hands.
Unscrupulous
Hands.
Unscrupulous of, and we're not identifying any sort of unscrupulous national
individuals.
Yes, individual, not any sort of unscrupulous nation or
organization, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like we do think as software engineers are like, yeah, you tokenize and everything. You have a token here, you have a token here. It's great. There's tokens everywhere, but just highlights it that we think that tokens can solve every problem, but not really, because you got to secure the token because it's used as in a supply chain attack like this.
So I have a question. Why does this keep happening to like Office 365 and Microsoft users like all the time?
Okay, so there was a great quote. I wasn't gonna mention it, but thank you. There was a great quote by Cyber Reason this week that said, if you're relying on Microsoft, you're gonna end up on the front page of the newspaper.
Wait, so Cyber Reason's great.
Okay, but there's
and I agree.
Listen, I'm no fan, but I will say that their ubiquity does make them a target. Right, it's overwhelmingly likely that the victims of all these cyber attacks use and rely on Microsoft. I'm not saying that Microsoft is generally doing anything about that, but there is their ubiquity to take.
I'm not agreeing.
No
with
shit.
I'm just quoting the CEO of Cyber Reason, who said, if you're relying on Microsoft, you're gonna end up on the front page of the newspaper.
Yeah, and how about this? If you use Active Directory or Office 365, what else do you need? You're done.
So there is a perception in the security community that if you're relying on Microsoft, Azure, Office 365, whatever it may be, that you're relying on infrastructure that is less secure. Now, I didn't say that. Cyber Reason said that.
Right.
To be fair,
Be fair.
you did not say that.
Shoo.
Cyber Reason CEO says that. We at HackNotice did not say that at all.
We have no opinion about Microsoft infrastructure. We're actually on Microsoft Azure.
We are.
Azure.
Azure.
Wait, what?
Microsoft ML Labs is a great product. I actually very much enjoy it. So
I will note that Steve got his COVID booster this week, and he hasn't got that COVID booster. God damn, if he hasn't been about 10 times more set on Microsoft than what he was before.
Hey, Divya, I think it's time for a bourbon break.
Woo. Okay, guys, so Bourbon Break. Today we are doing the Woodford Double Oaked, Woodford Reserve Double Oaked bourbon, and the website says it's an innovative approach to twice barreled bourbon that creates a rich and colorful flavor. They're matured in separate charred oak barrels. The second barrel deeply toasted before a light chime.
Someone else is deeply toasted.
Who's toasted?
Roasted would have been fine.
Toasted. Toasted's pretty good.
Toasted.
Okay, so anyway, Total Wine says that it's a smooth, balanced body infused with vanilla, caramel, honey apple, and spices at the forefront, which lead to a creamy mid palate and ends with a lingering honey oak finish. This is in Kentucky, so what do you guys have to say?
Okay, I will say this. I really am not drinking bourbon anymore. And you might have noticed that I very rarely on the show, but to me, Woodford is bourbon. It's absolutely my favorite. I agree with almost everything Divya just said. I think that it's really sweet up front. It has a medium finish. It's got the right balance of alcohol, and it's perfect to be sipped by itself.
So I have opinions about this bourbon. Woodford Reserve is a stable, reliable bourbon. It's like, there's no problem ever getting a Woodford. That being said, the Double Oaked has disappointed me greatly. And the reason is, you would pay for this bottle of Woodford $30, maybe 32. Oaked here in the free state of Texas was like 46 pre-tax. So like
on the website it said 43.
Yeah.
So I guess
So one of the problems is this is a rare bottle, and rare bottles, Divya and I are a part of a Facebook group where people that like bourbon find rare bottles and they post it on Facebook, and then everyone that likes bourbon goes and buys all the rare bottles. So I saw them offloading this bourbon like out of crates. Like I saw them actually stocking the shelves, and so I grabbed one. But I'm very not impressed. It's a good, to be fair, it's a good bourbon. But I find the double oakiness to be very syrupy. And I don't find it to be worth almost double the price.
All right, I may agree with you on the price. I disagree. I don't find it syrupy at all. I think it's very drinkable and not cloying.
I am shocked that Wolford would resort to anything like gimmickiness to sell their bourbon. I would pay like $6 for that bottle. Washington, $6 too.
Yeah. Like I enjoy an oaky bourbon, and I would say for an oaky bourbon, there's Evan Williams, which is kept in barrel for damn near close to 10 years. I think this is very heavy on the oak char, and it's too much syrup. It's like, it reminds me of pancakes, but not in like a good way. It's
Woodford Reserve is all marketing. It is all marketing. I would not drink it if my life depended on it.
Hey,
There.
it's
Look.
Story
It's-
number 3.
Don't edit that out, Divya. It's the truth. Why are you
Uh,
booing me? I'm right.
No, but it's the power of a big brand. It's the power of a big brand.
Yeah, anything that advertises on TV or a billboard, don't drink it.
Chu, you bought a whiskey that had buzzwords on it. Don't fuck around.
Yeah, what was it called?
Don't-
yeah,
don't
come
fuck
on,
around.
Stu.
Red-blooded American.
Oh, right.
Red-blooded American 9/11, fuck the terrorists, bourbon.
Right.
Small batch. To be
It's
fair,
like-
I hated my life because I thought I was going to move to Dallas, okay?
Right.
Nobody
Once-
moves to Dallas willingly.
Once they have a $300 million marketing budget, you can't believe a word they say.
Exactly, Paul. Thank you.
No. Evan Williams sells two versions. One is in like a base, barely plastic jug. And
Yep.
then the other is like
A handle.
Yeah, it's a handle.
Yeah, baby.
Williams knows.
Power to the people.
She was over here drinking grassy knoll bourbon, and he's trying to come and shit on Woodford Reserve.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I'm drinking gin today because I'm not going to partake in that. And
Yeah, you're probably in the Labor Party breach too.
oh, damn you! How dare you?
Oh,
No,
he's definitely in the Labor Party breach.
Yeah,
no.
she was
I'm
the
talking
founder.
about on my ham radio.
We're downloading that house.
She founded the Chaz.
You wouldn't download a house.
Yeah, hey FBI, if you want to know who started the Chaz in Seattle, shoot.
All right.
Yeah.
Story number 3, hopefully with slightly more detail.
Okay. Story number.
This is the guy who
3,
didn't read the
guys.
stories.
Yeah, I never do.
You don't even know the stories, Mike.
Beg pardon?
I said you don't even know the stories, Mike.
I rely on my mother wit, Shu.
Story number 3. Graph cyber attack. Tycoons and celebrities on a leak list as Russian gang demands ransom. And the Russian gang is Conti, by the way.
See,
Boo, Conti. Boo you. Boo you. Conti.
Almost 70,000 confidential documents on the so-called dark web. I don't know why they said so.
It's actually the
Dark web.
I don't know why it's so called.
Yeah, but some of the world's most powerful, wealthy, and famous people, their personal details were stolen, and they're asking for a ransom.
Okay, this breach is super crazy because one, ransomware groups do not go after Russia. Ever.
Ever.
'Cause they-
CIS, no CIS countries.
Yeah, they live there. Any
Allegedly.
hard coded. If they have the Russian keyboard installed, they don't touch it.
That is
Correct.
true.
So Conti going after Russia, that's big. Like,
Really big.
Well, I think one, we just learned that Conti's a little bit different. I would assume Conti's based in Russia, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're in Eastern Ukraine or.
It could be. They're Sim 12. They're Sim 12, right?
Allegedly.
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 And then two, to actually release high net worth individuals in Russia, like they just painted a huge target on their back. Like this is not going to go well for Conti.
Who's to say? Who knows?
Me, I say.
I mean, the same people. Listen, do you remember when Kaspersky, by the way, to go back to story 2, had their first issue? It was in 2017 when people started to bail, fairly or unfairly, started to bail. And now in 2021, turns out that the people that stuck with them as a brand still having a slight issue with those tokens. So we're just calling it now and we'll see how it unfolds.
So when you say that they're going after Russia, like, what do you mean by that? Because these are not Russians that they leak details about.
Conti?
But Russian, high net worth Russians were included.
Oh.
And isn't the.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
like, well, in
They would
the
never go
analysis
for
of the Colonial Pipeline breach, what we found is that the ransomware that was used
Mhm.
checked to see if your operating system was either in Russian or Ukrainian, and if so, it was programmed not to encrypt.
The Cyrillic.
That's true.
If you have the Cyrillic keyboard installed, ransomware will not encrypt.
So we're
Correct.
So HackNotice tip of the day: install a Russian keyboard.
Now we're talking.
So we're
Shame, hackers.
now. So
I have one. Do you have one?
No, I don't.
So what we're talking about is not just going against an unwritten code. It's going against the literal code
Correct.
built into what they're using to attack companies.
And because they do not attack CIS countries, so that's such a great idea. Just get a Cyrillic keyboard.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no problem with that. I firmly believe everyone.
I love that. That is so great.
Installed, because even if you ever got ransomware on your system, you're likely to evade the encryption.
I
Right,
agree
and-
with y'all on the keyboard and actually installed the Hebrew keyboard. I actually have a legitimate use of the Hebrew keyboard.
I think that means you
Just
get
in
double.
case.
No, but
Right,
so
yeah. But also, okay, so graph, according to
Okay, moving on, let's go to story number 4. This happened earlier.
Oh yeah.
oh, fantastic.
October 28th.
Ugh.
I have opinions.
So
Yeah.
cryptocurrency loan platform implodes in $130 million hack.
From a phishing email.
And this is the third
Phishing
time
email.
Cream Finance
Dream.
has been hacked this year. They were the target of a hack that stole over 130 million. It's not the only one of the largest heists that's ever targeted a decentralized finance. So what do you guys think about this one?
I don't know how Wu-Tang hasn't sold the shit out of this company, because clearly Cream is copyrighted by Wu-Tang.
yes.
Cash rules everything around
I'm
me.
with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, that is true.
You don't know Cream?
No.
No.
Yeah, before her.
Yeah.
In the late 90s, there was a band
Yes,
called
band.
Wu-Tang Clan.
No, that's
There was
different.
exactly.
In the early
In the early 70s,
there
there's
was
a band named
called
Cream, but in the early
Cream.
90s, there's a band named Wu-Tang.
People my age remember Cream. We know Cream.
Oh, Cream sucks, dude. Just because it's old and classic rock doesn't mean it's good. God.
No, it just had this guitar player named Eric Clapton.
Oh my God.
Oh well, he can't play too good, but whatever, right?
I have
But
opinions on
but
Eric
Cream,
Clapton.
the
but-
song is very good by Wu-Tang. And I like the name, but so what's interesting is
I find it interesting
they are
that
not a crypto exchange. They are a crypto financing organization. So they provide banking services for crypto holders, which is a highly underserved market.
Correct.
But it makes them a huge target, because guess what they have? A whole lot of cash and a whole lot of crypto.
And unless I'm very much mistaken, it was a single.
Thank you, Jesus, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't know if you can scroll down to there, but so again, not to put too fine a point on it, this is not some super technical attack. They didn't attack the infrastructure of decentralized finance. They phished somebody with data about themselves that they probably exposed, which came back to bite them in the rear.
No, you're exactly right. Yeah, I find it interesting that this is, I believe we read here that it's the third attack against Cream, second of the same kind.
The attacker apparently left a bizarre message which said, Bob, lucky, Iron Bank, lucky, Cream not. Your date, incest bad, don't do.
Incest bad, don't do. I don't disagree with that.
I'm not sure, but that's what he left behind.
Wise words. Wise words from a now very rich man.
Also your new password generator.
Is that Elon Musk's second child's name?
Yeah.
Incest bad, don't do.
If this bad, do not do.
Bob, lucky. 26.
AE12.
Okay.
How does that guy not sell cologne, by the way?
I know,
this
right?
just-
I know.
Like Tito Beverage?
No, I'm serious.
Tito Beverage sells vodka.
I
He
understand.
stays in his lane.
I understand he's an entrepreneurial guy. I'm just, if your parents name you Elon Musk and God gives you that entrepreneurial spirit, it's
Exactly.
obviously cologne.
Mhm.
There's fuckers out there buying Calvin Klein and slapping it all over their necks. Why not Elon Musk?
Fuck that, man. He's like the world's richest man. He's going to the moon.
Elon Musk.
He's by himself propping up several shit coins.
That's true.
And whenever you rent a car now from Hertz, it's going to be a Tesla.
That's true.
Yeah. Big news in the non-ransomware related world is that Hertz bought $6 billion worth of Teslas.
Yeah,
100,000
which
Teslas.
I don't know if you guys have ever done this renting a car. I told them that I'm just going to keep it in state. You know what I mean? That I'm just renting a car so I can go around the corner. Then I end up driving somewhere else entirely. The beautiful thing is you'll go to Hertz now. You got to tell them where you're going,
Mhm.
and they'll just program that into the Tesla and let it drive itself there.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Correct. Tesla 3, rock and roll.
That Elon was like, yeah, we didn't sign a deal. And then they were like, yeah, you did. So now they're still scrambling and trying to figure out
Oh, interesting.
if it's legit. But yeah, apparently it's 100,000 Teslas.
Send Hertz to collections.
What a dick. Can you say?
Yeah, you better not hack the steering, right?
Yeah.
Better not.
Send Hertz to send Hertz.
Woohoo!
Butter.
Spicy idea. Do not.
Yeah, better not hack the steering or the gas pedal. Whoops.
I drive a pickup truck.
Drive is generous.
It
Right.
drives
That's
you.
why I operate a
It
pickup
drives
truck.
you.
That's why you mechanical Turk a thing that looks like a truck.
Yeah, better wear a helmet.
My truck is the opposite of the bus from Speed, where if it goes up over 60 miles an hour, it will explode.
It would never. It starts shaking at like 52 miles an hour.
That's
It'll
true.
never get above 60.
What's the movie with Keanu Reeves? With the-
Speed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Mike, how's your truck saga, by the way?
What?
Huh?
Oh, it was fine.
Let me repeat this. Mike, how was your truck saga, by the way?
No damage at all.
Nice. All right.
Sonata is not great.
Well,
That is not my
Sonatas are meant to crumple.
Yeah, well, fuck the guy with the Sonata. I mean, if you buy a Sonata, you deserve it.
Like it was made out of tinfoil.
Yeah,
They are
Right.
indeed.
yeah.
Yeah.
You deserve
Avoir du-
everything that's
avoir du
coming to
pas
you if you're
rule.
buying a Sonata.
Hyundai Sonata.
I just
Try
like
the
to thank
all new
our
2022 Hyundai Sonata.
I just like to thank our sponsor, Matthew McConaughey at Lincoln. Lincoln, if you want a car that won't be fucking crumpled when you get in a wreck, it's the Lincoln. Lincoln, you can ram the shit out of shit.
Right. Best reason to buy an SUV is 6,000 pounds. AVP, baby.
Yeah, they'll just tip over. Don't buy an SUV, man. They'll just tip over.
I crumble.
You won't get killed.
Here's what you do.
With
You
a
buy-
wild turkey Long Branch Lincoln.
All right.
You won't get killed. You won't
All right.
die.
Lincoln Town Car. Why leave pedestrians a chance?
Lincoln Town Car. What do you do? Protect the driver.
Through cars, when the zombie apocalypse comes or when China starts to attack, you get a boat and you get on the fucking water.
Story number 5, you guys. So this is a really juicy story. I really liked it because
Is it spicy?
it's very spicy.
Oh, we got a spicy story.
No, this is a good one.
Okay,
Alright.
Luton man was left shocked as his house is stolen. So what happened in this is, Shu, you might be very familiar with this topic, but there was a man who was,
Oh, hang on a second here. Go on. I had nothing to do with this, but go on.
Oh,
he was returning to his house, and then there were workers in there like ripping off the carpet, and they were, yes, they were building like getting furniture in and everything, and he's like, what's going on? And turned out that somebody had stolen his identity and sold the house on his behalf, but he was still the owner. What do you guys think about this one?
Crazy.
Yeah, this is the absolute worst case nightmare of identity theft. This dude like lost his house. Like
I mean,
essentially someone downloaded a house and it was his house. I would not download a house. I'd fucking download a car though. RIAA, yeah, fucking download a car.
it's not like, it's not a legal transfer of title. It can't be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, title fraud happens all the time, but there's no way that it's a legal transfer of title.
So in the US, you cannot purchase stolen property, regardless of what it is. I don't know what the law is in the UK. In the US, the guy buying the guy buying the house would be basically the victim of this crime here. Yeah, I don't know how many pounds.
Sure, it's not his fault.
It says bad, don't do.
Yeah. Yeah, but of course the guy that owned the house has lost like basically everything inside the house. So that sucks.
That sucks a lot. So in the US, what's fairly common or more common than people expect is mortgage holders accidentally selling houses out from under the property owners. And
Right.
I have a friend that this happened to, a large bank that won't be named, but they're well known.
Oh,
Hey, Steve, I forgot to tell you this, but I need like I'm going like I need a few days off. So I'm going to Fargo, North Dakota.
Yeah, they're well known in Fargo, and
Right.
So they, for some reason, thought that they had foreclosed on a house, which they hadn't, and then they sold it at auction. And it turns out, according to U.S. law, it's a legal sale. And
Wow.
they're only, like, they had to vacate their own house. They had to then sue a well-known bank in Fargo. And then they got some sort of cash settlement, but like their house is gone. Like they can't
Yeah.
live in their house anymore. So this is a bit different, but it depends on the law. This guy could be out the house. Like he has a lawsuit, right? Whoever provided the title transfer, that's obviously not valid and all that. But yeah, this sucks.
It sucks. And frankly, in Europe, in London, if you go on vacation and people manage to enter your house without breaking windows or anything else, and they occupy it for like a week, they can squat and own it, and you're done.
Yeah,
No.
because the Europe,
Have squat dog services. So they have these German shepherds and they send them to your house to prevent
Yep.
the squatters from coming in.
that's right. Even the German shepherds are neutered these days, though. So
That feels mostly debunked.
Shoo, you stop at nothing.
So would you say this is a case of smishing, or would it be like more,
Well,
Phishing.
how did they take the information?
they just stole his identity and called?
From
like,
where?
the-
Yeah, but where they steal it? From the Labor Party breach? The
Probably.
I think it's basic social engineering.
Yeah.
Social
So basically, if you're in
engineering,
the, so basically the lesson here is if you're in the UK, don't vote Labour because you're gonna get your identity stolen. You're gonna get your house sold from under you.
don't go on vacation.
Vote Tory.
Hire the squat dog service.
Vote Chaz.
Oh, no.
No, don't vote Jazz. We did not vote Chaz last
Vote
Tuesday.
Chaz. Vote, be like Shu and vote Chaz.
We sobered up here in Seattle. We're fine now.
Vote autonomous zones.
It's autonomous
We
zone.
sobered up in Seattle. Seattle's not terrible these days.
This has been an episode of Bourbon and Data Breaches.
Oh my God.
More details on that little tidbit on a future episode.
If you liked what you saw tonight, you probably voted Labor.
Yeah.
Please.
Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you didn't like what you saw tonight, blame the Chaz.
Or you're either a Tory,
Yeah, you could be a Tory.
and you should still comment or like or subscribe.
Uh,
Indeed.
next time.